technique and stuff like that, and just tackling.
On a day where the other team kind of stops passing the ball regularly a whole ton, does your kind of approach change as a corner, knowing that maybe they're just going to run a lot of jet sweeps and stuff like that, and you have to really be prepared for the few times they're going to throw it deep?
I mean, our first assignment is to always guard the receiver, so we always guard the receiver, stay on top. If we see it run, we shoot and attack.
Christian was just talking about kind of strengthening the mentality you need to have as a quarterback. Or like, how do you feel like you've worked on perfecting that kind of what's next attitude?
Yeah, I mean, Dante is a big physical guy. That's what he instills in us. So, I mean, we try to out-physical our opponent every time we get. So every chance we get, we try to do that.
I know you talked about sort of mastering the technique and the scheme and how that was a big focus for you. Where do you feel like you made kind of the biggest strides when it comes to that, especially early on this season?
Yeah, I mean, just locking in every play, knowing the inch mirror punch, just the fundamentals, and just guarding my man and knowing what I have to do to cover him, stop him.
You talk about bouncing back sort of mentally. When a play like what happened in Nevada, that big pass play happens, kind of what's your thought process coming out of that play?
I mean, it happens. Not everyone's perfect. You just go to the next play and just move on. I mean, our position is one of the toughest positions on the field. Like, you can't have a mental breakdown about one play. You just got to move on.
Was it at one point in your career, was that harder for you to handle, like a play like that compared to now?
I mean, no. Position's the same. It's just a bigger crowd. So, I mean, just lock in. Next play, just move on.
Taj mentioned there was a moment early on where he kind of realized that the Stanford defense wasn't really willing to be very physical. Was there a point for you guys on the defense where if your goal is to out-physical them, you realize you could do it a little easier than normal?
I mean, not really. I mean, no.
Who do you see on this defense emerging kind of as a leader? Is there someone that you kind of go to first if you got a question or something like that? How do you see the leadership growing on the defense?
I mean, I think we just all feed off each other. There's obviously the linebackers, I'll say, is a big group that gets us together, pulls us in. We need motivation. One of them will speak up. Could be a safety, could be a corner. It just depends, but we all feed off each other.
Max has played a lot of football for this team, and he's gone through knee injury as well. So, kind of, what have you learned from Max? What do you think he brings to this defense?
Yeah, Max my locker buddy, so I pretty much talk to Max about everything. Help both his knees overcome adversity, and you just gotta lock in. He says, I mean, you just gotta give everything you get, everything you got, every chance you get. So that's his message.
Coach Riley said you've made a climb since even the first game to this third game. Where do you feel like the biggest difference has been for you in that stretch?
I mean, it's really a basic answer, but just playing football again, getting comfortable with myself. I've been away from football for a little while, and not many people know that, but almost like 2.5 years I've been away. I'm literally like my only third game coming up. I played in almost 2.5 years, so I mean, just getting comfortable with myself again.
People probably underestimate that when they're watching you, that they expect you to just like jump back in there. Did you yourself kind of expect like it would be easier to just like jump back in and everything's normal again?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, everyone is a scholarship kid on the practice field in the game, so I mean, it's just not going to come easy. So I just got to work every day.
We'll do one more.
You talked about how much you learned just about the game over the course of the summer with Dante, but how much have game reps helped you out there, just being able to show up week after week?
Yeah, I mean, tremendously. I mean, the best rep is game rep. You don't know what the opponent's going to do, so you just got to lock in and just know what you got to do every play.
Thank you, Domani.